Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Victory Talk. Happy Friday, y'all. Woo! We made it. We made it. It's your girl Key and
Lady J.
we are in the house tonight and we are excited about seeing this Friday. I don't know where you guys are tuned in from, but here in Maryland, we have been rained out all day. It has been raining nonstop. And while we thank God for it, we are excited just to be off the roads and safely in our homes.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
So tonight we have a special show for you guys. We are together with the authors of Mosaics Made from Beautifully Broken Pieces. I'm going to give you guys a short bio. Lady J is holding the book up. You can see that beautiful artwork in my favorite color, purple. Yes, yes, we are giving it to y'all live and in color tonight. So, Mosaics Made from Beautifully Broken Pieces is a collection of stories told from the viewpoint of 7 phenomenal women. The journey that you will travel with co-authors Pixie Lee, Madonna Williams, Jackie Lady J. Miller, Kiara Key Noble, Delphia Sheila Marshall, J.C. Gardner, and last but certainly not least, visionary Deborah Franklin will inspire you to press through your circumstances, to not give up because there is hope on the other side. You may feel like you have been shattered into thousands of pieces, but no, those pieces will come together and form a beautiful mosaic. So really quickly, we're going to have our guest this evening just give, a brief intro, tell us who you are and what you do, and then we will individually come back to discuss the chapters. We are missing Madonna and Delphia. They could not be with us this evening, but I'm sure that they are tuning in from somewhere. So, hey, ladies, we miss y'all, and we will catch y'all the next time. So, Pixie, you're up first.
Hello, and thank you for having me. Hello, everyone out there. My name is Pixie Lee. I am content creator extraordinaire, author, speaker, publisher, and co-owner of the KDCP TV network. So I help men and women in ministry write books of motivation and inspiration through collaboration and telling their story. I also help business owners to stay connected with their current and future clients through email marketing, blogging, newsletter, and just any digital marketing informational piece.
All right, all right. I'm trying to be like you when I grew up. You had that thing down pat. You ain't skip a beat. It was flawless.
Well, thank you.
I hear you, sis. All right, Deborah, Miss Franklin, you're up next.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you guys for having me. I am Deborah Franklin. I am the proud owner and founder of Conversations Entertainment Group, which houses Deborah Franklin Publishing, and most of all, Church Girl CEO. I work with high-performing women to tell their story and to develop it into multiple streams of income while they are developing and increasing their VIP status, which means their visibility, influence, and profits. I also help women to collaborate together to tell their stories in collaboration. So yes, I am the visionary for this particular project. But if you want to I got to put it out here. If you are ready to do your project, you definitely got to jump on board because we make it painless. And that is what we're here for, because we work with you regardless of where you are in ministry. We are here to assist you to take that next step further.
Oh, that's right. Now, you too. I'm gonna get some tips from y'all later on. I got to take some tips from y'all so I can sound like y'all sounded all the way together. I love it. All right, Miss JC, you're up next.
Hello, everyone, and thank y'all for having me here. It's such a blessing to be back in the house again with these phenomenal women. It's been what they say. It's been a minute, but I am indeed J.C. Gardner, and by day, I'm a national advisor for volunteer management. I've been at my current company for 31 years, an international faith-based organization that serves the most vulnerable overseas. And at night is when my passion light comes on. And that's where I'm an author, a speaker, a writing coach, and a ghostwriter. And I really am passionate in my writing coaching business because I just love helping really new and aspiring authors bring their projects to life through the written word.
Right. All right. Fantastic, y'all. All right, Lady J.
It's Lady J. So, hey, everybody. You guys kind of know me as the co-host of Victory Talk and my sister girl, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys tonight. I am First Lady, a mother, co-pastor, and an author, a life coach for married couples. There's different coaches, so I do coaching for married couples. And I'm so excited to be here with you guys tonight, and it's just an awesome experience. And so that's me pretty much in a nutshell.
All right. And I'm gonna keep it short, sweet, and to the point, just like Lady J did. Y'all know me as Key. I am an ordained minister. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. Many people call me friend. Since I don't sound have it down pat like y'all, I took it straight from my bio. Okay, I'm just keeping it real. So that is who I am. I am a property manager by day. Everything else in between, middle of the day, after the day, on the weekend, I do a little bit of it all. And so we are excited again to have you guys in the house with us tonight. Y'all know how we do. It's an interactive show, so make sure you chime in, ask your questions as we go along, and we will make sure to get all the comments and questions in. So we're gonna jump right to it. Starting off with, I'm gonna send it over to my sis, Lady J.
All right. So I'm going to just go ahead and get started. So I want to talk to Pixie Lee.
Okay.
And so I'm so excited to have you with us, Pixie Lee, because, I follow y'all from, the background. I see everything. As busy as I am, I see everything. And girl, you be popping.
Well, thank you.
And so I just want to say, happy belated birthday. I know you was.
Thank you.
I know you can't talk about it because what happens there stays there. So I know that
it was fun.
So your chapter was really inspiring to me. So if you would tell us a little bit about your chapter, because we read that you have a goal of publishing 50 new Black authors. So tell us, how is that coming along and why is that so important to you?
Well, it's important to me for a couple of different reasons. Last year during the pandemic, I was able to finally drag my father into authorhood and make him a published author. My father has been in ministry 51 years, and everyone's always told him, you need to write a book. You need to write a book. And I've heard this all my life growing up. So he's been in ministry 51 years. I just turned 42. So as you can see, this is my lifestyle. But I wanted to create a company that gave a voice to ministers and pastors and people who are in ministry, because it's a lot of people in ministry out there, but they're not telling the story the way that they want to tell it. And one thing I found out when we did our first collaboration, it's called An Anchor for the Ages, and it's about trusting God, is that if you give a man or woman of God the room and opportunity just to write the way God tells them to, it becomes a beautiful book. I have a no holds barred kind of publishing company. When we get together, they're able to write their books however they see fit. If they want to write it like a sermon, then my editor has been instructed, listen, I know that this is probably not grammatically correct. However, all I need you to do is make sure the words are spelled right, because I don't want you to change what they said to make it grammatically correct, and we lose the essence of the message that we're trying to get over to the people. So I let them do it any way they want to, whether it's sermon style, whether it's term paper style, whether it's with graphs, with pictures, with stories, however God leads them to write this book, that's their choice. So far, my publishing company was created during the pandemic in April of 2020. I am almost 10 authors in by the end of this year. I'm super excited because some of those I published because they were my friends and they wanted to use a Black author. They don't fit under the umbrella whatsoever. So when you see those books, you will know what I'm referring to.
Okay.
Don't shake your head, just buy a copy. But they're great books, they're great books. So I'm 10 authors in, getting ready to start an upcoming collaboration, which will put me at 15. So by the end of this year, I'll be at 15. So that gives me 35 more to go.
So let me ask you this, because your point of view of which you're operating from it's unique. I feel like it is unique. So do you find that you are, I know you say you have some other authors that you published it with your friends, but are you finding that those that you are drawing into are ministry led in the field? Because if you're with the way that you're saying that, if they want to write it as a sermon or write it as a story or whatever, that is a unique perspective, a unique point of view for that. You know what I'm saying? And so, I would be drawn, me as being an ordained minister, I would be drawn to a publishing company like that because it gives me the option and the openness to be to write in the way that God would give it to me. So are you finding that is a drawing tool?
Yes, it is. Because one thing, a lot of people, when they hear write a book or they say, I want to write a book, they come to the table thinking it's this big production, and it's so hard and they can't do it. They don't know what to say. They don't know where to start. So in essence, I take the limitations off of it. Forget what you think being an author is. Forget how you were told you should write this and the perspective you should come from. And when you sit down, that's why my company is Christian based. So when you sit down with Jesus and you say, Lord, what is it that you would have me to say to your people? Because listen, we have to put ego and self out of the way. That is not what this company is built on. We are founded on the Word of God. We talk about the Word of God. We serve God, and that's what I write about. So now, if that's not the lane that you in, will I publish a book? Yes. But now we're going to have some restrictions on how you write your story. So you just can't be out here saying any and everything, because even though I publish some books for people who are not in ministry, you still represent me and I am. So what you cannot do is allow anybody just to say and do anything. But once you take the brakes off and people are and they can really say, oh, this is how I want to tell this story. It's so funny because when I told my dad that I wanted to do this collaboration, he was like, okay. And I almost fell out my chair because I was really prepared to have to convince him. All God had to do was send a pandemic and Rem Glover was ready. So I was like, okay, cool. So then we got together and we handpicked the authors that were in that book. And when I went to them, then they had their fear. Even though they wanted to do it, they didn't know how. So I tried to create an experience and an atmosphere that made them comfortable enough. And I told them, because I'm a ghostwriter, I can interpret for you and I can write and I can put it in a format so that it's easy for the reader. I never want to publish a book where you feel like I need to go get a thesaurus to understand what is being said here. So I want this to be easy. I want it to be comfortable, but most of all, I want them to be able to hear God no matter what they're reading in the book. And that's how I write my chapters, and that's how I write my book. I want you to be able to hear God. I want you to be able to take from that story, take from that writing, take something from that expert. And even if it doesn't apply to you right here, right now, when you pick this book up 6 months, 10 years, or a lifetime later, I want God to be able to speak to you. And it's going to apply to you. And you got a right now word for your right now situation. And the only way you can do that is if you allow the Holy Spirit to speak.
I'm coming back to you, Key. But before I do that, I want to grab something that Pixie said. And I just want to share with the viewers. For anybody out there that has an inkling that you want to write a book, this group right here, whether you go with Deborah Franklin Publishing, or if you go with Pixie Lee's company, whichever one you go with, I promise you, the whole entire process will be easy.
Absolutely.
The whole process will be anointed and it will flow. They will help alleviate any fear that you had, any concern. So I just wanted to plug these ladies because I didn't want that to slip by, because I want people to know that it is not as difficult as you may think it is.
It's not.
And they help to ease you and to transition you into that. So go ahead, Key.
All right. So we're gonna let the Pixie, if you wanted to, before I jump on to the next person, if you wanted to share anything from your chapter, we did want to, hear a little bit. However much, I always say, if you want to give them a little bit, so that way, they can still buy the book if they haven't bought the book. If you want to give them a lot, it's all up to you. But we want to give you the opportunity to discuss your chapter a little bit.
So my chapter held twofold assignment. My assignment was to tell my story, or parts of my story. Does anybody know me? Know my story is ever changing. So if I go in another collaboration, you're gonna get another piece of it. However, the other part of my assignment was to make sure that the reader was prepared for what they were going to read behind me. See, the introduction is so important because it sets your reader up and gets their interest peaked. So I wanted to make sure I wrote it in a fashion that they couldn't wait to turn the page in order to see what the other authors were going to talk about. We all talked about different experiences and how we were able to overcome them with God's help, how we came out on the other side of them, the victory that we got while we were in it, and all of the struggle and the pain that it took to get there. But you don't want to write your introductory chapter in a way that they're like, oh, Lord, I done read this before. Because it can be tasking. When you have an avid reader, you don't want them to ever pick up your book and say, it's another one of those. So it was important for me to not only let you know that I survived everything that I went through, and the person before you is made from beautifully broken pieces. Like, it is literally that. No matter what age of my life you come in, it's a broken piece to this puzzle that's been put back together by God's grace and mercy every day. And I continue to strive in order to do what I've been called to do, to walk and live in my purpose, to touch the lives of his people, and to leave my footprint on this world.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. I love it. Thank you so much for that. All right, so we're gonna move right on down the road to Miss Franklin. I think that since we kind of changed course a little bit, I like asking the question first and then getting to the book second. So we're gonna keep rolling with that. So my question that I have for you, Miss Deborah, is I think that all the ladies who have worked with you already know the answer to this, but we're gonna put it out there so that the people know. Between your publishing company and Church Girl CEO and the new network, how are you using your particular platform to help others reach their dreams or goals?
That was a great question, because for those of you that don't know, and I totally missed saying it earlier, I am co-owner of the KDC, one of the co-owners of KDCP Network, which is live right now. Live. Did y'all hear me say live? Or not a dream, not a thought, not in 4 or 5 years we going live. It's live right now on
right here, right now,
and Fire Stick, and on iOS, and on Google Play. So yes, we are live, and to do that has been nothing less than by the grace of God. To do that has been nothing less than me trying to find a wig because I feel like my hair falling out. I'm just being real. Okay. But it's like, y'all, we have definitely put in motion what we want to see women of color to do. And that is to work together regardless. Because if you are watching this, I know you're probably trying to say, wait a minute, Deborah a publisher, Pixie a publisher, Pixie a ghostwriter, JC a ghostwriter. How in the ham sandwich is this working and they in the same book? That's because we are here to defy what people are saying that women cannot work together. We are clearly aware that we do some of the same things, but we also know we have different audiences and we have different things that we are doing. And it's easy for us to work together because I'm like, look, have you tried this publishing company? Hey, what kind of paper you use for this? Hey, who's doing your distribution? It's like we can work together and it's no big eyes and little U's in that. And we don't have ego trips. Now, who gets cussed out the most?
Deborah.
Who get in trouble the most? Who jacks up the calendar?
Deborah.
But see, I know my lane because I know I'm a visionary and I know that I can jack up a date. JC works for me. JC works with me on several projects. She be like, I can see her batting her eyes over the phone, like, and trying not to cuss me out. Like, when you gonna get this done? This is supposed to be done. But the thing
I'm waiting on something from her now.
Yeah, you probably are. But
Not you too, Pixie.
Yes. Yes.
The love in the room.
Yes.
The love in the room.
And I asked for it 2 weeks ago, JC.
Uh-oh.
Okay, then I probably don't forgot. But anyway, and then everything that I've gone through and I've experienced has put me to this point. And that's why I'm able to work with different people and do different things because I accept who I am and whose I am every day. And it's like we walk in our own honesty. We walk in our truth. And so what I do is that I allow and I open up my platform for others to shine. If you are ready to write your book, if you are stuck and not sure about writing a book, I show you how to do a collaboration. And most of all, because my vision is to help people gain their VIP status, meaning their visibility, their influence, and their profits. I show you how to take what you think is not something that you can profit from and develop a profit, as well as getting you out there for whatever you're doing. Whether you're a singer, a preacher, a dedicated pew member working in the parking lot, it does not matter. Whatever form of ministry you are working in, you have a story to tell. And I am here to assist you to tell the story, to magnify the story, to amplify the story, so people can see who you are. Because a lot of times we are set free by our testimony. People hear our testimony and then they are able to say, hey, if they can do it, I can do it. If she went through this, if she went through a miscarriage, if she went through bad relationships, if she's gone through being a certain age and not having children, not being married, and she still has a successful company, she still has partnerships, she's still able to travel, she's still able to do certain things and still be able to pour into people and not look like she about to go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, then I can do it too. So if that's what I can do for someone that's reading my story and someone else who needs to tell their story, yes, is it a painful process? Of course it could be, because a lot of times when you step into this realm of telling your story from your true place, from your honest place, from your real place, you have to do, you're gonna hurt because, okay, just like Pixie, when you work with me, I'm going to push you to tell the whole truth. I'm going to push you to tell your real story. I'm going to push you. And a lot of times people don't think I see the edits, but JC is the editor. I'm just going to put it out there of my projects. And she was the editor for this. And I literally was like, what is this? Who is this? And JC was like, I can see her doing that to me. Because I don't believe in fluff. I don't believe in church lingo. I believe in telling it from a real place. Because like Pixie was saying, when somebody picks up a book that has come through my publishing company, they're not going to get all of that, where the Lord said, and this and that. Right. Now, the Lord did say it. Now, I'm not knocking that. But what I'm saying is that you're not going to get all of that church lingo without something explaining what that means. Because nobody's going to say, yeah, I just prayed my way through it. Okay. So after you prayed, what did you do? Right. Because that's what the people need to hear. They need to know what happened when you got up off your knees. Because it's a lot of times you pray for stuff and you get up and you still feel the same way. So that's what did you do to keep moving and keep surviving and keep healing and keep being able to live this life, live what we call this life abundantly? And that's one of the key things in how I open up the platform for people to tell their story. I hope I answered your question.
You absolutely answered the question, and I love it. And for anybody who is just tuning in, we are sitting with the co-authors of Mosaics Made from Beautifully Broken Pieces. We just heard from Deborah Franklin, and just to put it out there so that you guys know, you have a collection of women who have not only told their stories, but have something to offer, have something to give. This is just amazing stuff. And for anybody, like she said, and like Miss Pixie said, anybody out there that's sitting on something, you've been feeling that gentle nudge or not so gentle nudge, to just tell your story. It will, I promise you, because I was one of them, sat on it for over 10 years. I promise you, get to writing. These ladies will help you. They will walk you through the process. If you need help with anything, coming up with the content, putting it all together, putting the pieces together, whatever it is that y'all need, they got you. Okay, so we appreciate you guys, and I am going to send it back over to my sister, who I think I'm up next. So
yes, you are. But before I come to you, I just want to get a couple of these comments in. So, good evening, everybody. We have Victoria Green, and she says we all have gone through. Take it in so I can't see it. There it is. We all have gone through multiple storms that God has brought us through. What made you choose the particular storm to share in this collaboration? So anybody can answer that. Anybody.
That's a loaded question.
All day long.
Woo.
Honestly, I'm gonna start the answer, and then I'm gonna let them chime in, because to give the premise of the book, because I was a visionary, and what I wanted to talk about was people telling their stories again from a real place of something that they survived. The original call for this book was to tell something that you survived from. And as women in ministry and women that are called, we honestly do not tell our real stories, because we always walk in that realm of shame. We walk in that realm of, I can't tell my story because somebody's going to hold it against me. I can't tell my story because I'm not going to be promoted. I can't tell my story because I'm not going to get married. I can't tell my story because nobody's going to let me pastor a church. I can't. And so it was really a move of God to put the women together in this book, because somebody said, well, how do you choose the people that you collaborate with? I don't. I put out the call and I let God send them to me. Because when you start cherry picking, that's the way I feel about it. When you start cherry picking, you don't really get what God is sending you. Because honestly, Key got on this project when the project was about to end. Can I just be real honest? Key was not even on the radar. So that's what I'm saying. When you are doing this, God sets things up for you. And that's where some of these stories came from. And so when God speaks, like she said, you getting a tingling in your heart, it's time for you to start telling your story. And so that's, I'm gonna put that overarching thing, because I think that will set it up for you saying how you chose what story to tell in this collection of mosaics.
You want to go, JC, or you want me to?
You can go.
Okay. Based on what the original premise was for the book about surviving, my chapter talks about surviving divorce, closing a business, going to corporate America, and getting started on your purpose. A lot of people go through those different tragic situations, because let's be honest, when you get divorced, it's tragic. When you get laid off from work, especially not being after coming from closing your doors on your business, it's tragic. So I wanted to tell my story from those vantage points, that no matter what has happened, no matter the reason that this has happened, take the lesson, learn it, and go on to the next chapter. See, all of the things that happened that led me up to the conversation at my job that I got laid off from put me here. Someone spoke over me what they felt like I should be doing, and someone else came back and confirmed it. But it wasn't until I got laid off, because see, God knows the type of hard-headed person he created in me. He can't just come to me and say, Pixie, I need you to do this. Pixie, I called you to do that. Now, he talks to me that way, but he knows that as long as she at this job, as long as she got comfort, as long as every 14 days, that job still go cha-ching, she not going to do what I need her to do. And the people that I've touched since June 2018 would have never been touched had he not closed the door at that job. So I needed the person reading my chapter to understand that although it's tragic and what you're dealing with right here, right now, it doesn't have to be the end. It can be, that's what it is, the end of a chapter that is going to catapult you into your next phase in life.
And I'm just going to answer mine really quickly so that we can move on, because I don't want to talk too much. But I'm just going to say the particular storm that I spoke about, we all, as Pixie said earlier, there's so many things. We have multiple, stories. We have multiple storms. And so I figure, I'll save the little itty bitty ones for later on. But I didn't choose, this storm. This storm chose me. And producer pastor, don't try to take that, because that one's already mine. But but I know he is, and as soon as I was going to part my lips and said it, I had to put it out there. Don't even try, sir. But God, this was major. This was life changing. Like you said, it was to talk about what we survived, and truly, that is what it was. So there was really no other option, for me on this particular project and that's the thing he's been nudging at me. And, as I said so many times over the years, I could write a book about this. I could write a book about this. So he was like, okay, go ahead then. Stop playing. Go ahead.
Right.
JC, did we get yours? Because I don't think we
Nope.
did. Let's hear from you, JC.
JC been in the cut. JC sometimes like to sit in the cut a little bit. What I'm saying.
We got you down here. You ain't gonna be cutting.
Well, the reason why I chose my story in particular is because I feel like sometimes people think that they cannot overcome childhood hurts. And I also think that people think that if you're hurt as a child, that as you mature and get older, just get over it. That was 10 years ago. That was 15 years ago. That was 20 years ago. How is that still affecting you? They do not understand that sometimes that children are definitely affected by our words and actions and can carry that around like an invisible bag of bricks. You just can't see it. Oh, but we feel it. Oh, but it affects us day in and day out because we remember what somebody said to us. And those negative seeds sometimes can be planted. And then what happens is the negative seeds grow weeds. And then those weeds choke out anything good because you have yet to break free. And a lot of times when we're young, we're not in our spiritual pathway yet. We're not there. A lot of us are not there yet. We're just babies. We're just trying to find who we are. And all of us cannot bounce back just like that. Like I know people, you could probably set them on fire and they would just roll around the dirt and get up, keep walking. Right? But other people, we're not resilient like that. And I wasn't quite resilient in that age at that moment. I was still trying to find my way. So I really wrote my chapter letting people know, yes, I believe that you have been hurt when you were younger. Yes, you are probably still hurting from what somebody said or did to you, but you can overcome it. There is light at the end of the tunnel if you put in the work, if you have faith, if you pray, if you meditate, if you really want to release those invisible chains in that mental prison, because that's really what happens when you get in a mental prison because of what someone said or did to you. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and all you have to do is grab onto your faith to be set free.
Well, JC, you shared a little bit about your chapter, but as far as you're concerned, DNA, and you state this, DNA stands for deliberately not average. Tell us what that means to you and how you are using your platform how you're using your platform as a speaker to help transform and empower women.
Yes, so I do believe that none of us are deliberately not average. We are not. All of us are unique. All of us have unique experiences. All of us bring something different to the table. As Pastor Reverend Deborah said earlier, we all publishers. We're all writers. We do ghostwriting. We all three of us do something in the literary world, yet we have a unique footprint. So I just want people to know that their DNA does make them deliberately not average, because we are all made in God's image, but yet He loves variety. So I don't want people to think that, there's one cookie cutter version, or that what they bring to the table or the way that they're thinking or feeling, nobody's going to listen to me. I'm not going to count. I'm not going to matter. Somebody's already heard this story before, so mine is similar. No, it's not. Granted, there may be some commonalities, but what you went through is not going to be the same thing as what Deborah went through, what Pixie went through, what you went through, what Kiara went through. It's going to be different. Why? Because you deliberately not average, baby.
All right,
now, because what you bring in is very unique, and that's why I use my platform to help women primarily, but men too, who have actually, again, it goes back to that childhood, or even maybe as people progress to being into adults, being told, no, you can't be a seamstress, no, you can't be a baker, how dare you think you're going to be an engineer, who said you could fly a plane? And that really is where they're supposed to be, see? Because most of us wake up every day knowing where we're supposed to be.
That's right.
But then somebody else couldn't envision it for us. So therefore, we go ahead and be the customer service agent that you talk to on the phone, and you like, Lord, why did I get this person?
Absolutely.
Because they planted in the wrong garden. They just planted in the wrong garden. I've been trying to cut those people a lot of slack.
Yeah.
So I try to use my platform speaking to really encourage people. If you wake up every day knowing that you're supposed to be doing something and what you are supposed to be doing, go get yours.
Absolutely.
Go get yours. Because time is waiting for no one. And yes, it's going to be difficult. You're going to have people looking at you with the side eye, like, why is she doing that? I can't believe that she's going to go ahead and be a seamstress. Who says she can sew? Girl, you know you can sew. You know you can bake. You know you have all of these skills and talents, and someone else is waiting on you to show up.
Yeah.
So it's not meant for you to bury and squander your gift, because unless God told you no, what one man can tell you no? Why are you listening? Girl, look.
You preaching.
I was going to say,
listen,
we're supposed to be talking about the book. Y'all ain't know y'all was about to get these jewels tonight, okay?
But I'm just saying, y'all, and I want to encourage your listeners, really, really.
Wonderful.
If you really know you're supposed to be walking in some Louboutins, as I put them, girl, take off the house shoes.
Come on now. Take them off.
Okay.
Take them
okay.
Off. Toss them to the corner.
Okay.
Drop it. That is.
Yeah.
She said that.
Okay.
And JC, before I let you off the hook, why did you choose? Yeah, I'm not done with you yet, sis. So because you didn't answer our guest our viewers' question, she wanted to know what made you decide to share this particular story in the chapter in this.
Yes. Yes, it goes back to what I said before, because me being mentally, I felt, you know what, in today's terms, I was verbally assaulted by a teacher. If we had to use today's terms, that's exactly what happened. I was verbally assaulted in my youth by an educator, somebody who's supposed to have my back, nurture me, bring me along, lift me up, really, really put the, what do they call that? Give me everything and all the essence that I need to succeed in life. That's what educators are supposed to do. But because I was verbally assaulted and humiliated as a child, it really stuck with me for many, many years. And I wanted people to see, yes, that happened to me. And yes, the other thing I want to say is pain is pain. And I feel like we diminish that sometimes. I don't care what kind of pain it is. Yes, some pain is more intense than others, definitely. Anybody can tell you that, right? But don't discount my pain.
Absolutely.
Don't discount what we as women in this book, Mosaics, Broken Pieces. Some of them broken pieces had shards. They scratched and they hurt. So I just chose that chapter to say, yes, that teacher thought she had me bound, and she did, unfortunately, for decades. But that's okay because I broke free. And if I can break free, so can you.
So can you. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have a lot of viewers tonight. Alania Renee, Lisa Stringer Bailey. Y'all, they on
Hey,
it, they
y'all.
on it
Hey,
in
church
this
girl
Detroit.
CEO.
Church girl CEO.
In the house. So we are so excited. All right, Key. I done took up a whole lot of your time, didn't I, sis?
That's all right, because you know what, God, you know how we
I
do.
know how we do.
Listen,
Yes.
I was supposed to go last, so I'm gonna hold my seat and wait till my turn. So, Lady J, you are up next. So I'm gonna start with my question first. You had a few hashtags in there, such as "You got this," hashtag "His grace is sufficient," hashtag "You are a survivor," hashtag "Kept by His grace." But tell us about one of your favorites, or one that I know you use quite often, hashtag Speak Life.
I love hashtag Speak Life because I believe the words that come out of my mouth, the words that come out of your mouth, will dictate, will predict what you do, how you do it, when you do it, where you go, what you say. I believe, and I talked about this last night in our women's ministry, I firmly believe in the self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe that you can't do something, you're going to tell yourself you can't do it, you're not going to do it. But on the flip side of that coin, when you tell yourself, I can do all things through Christ Jesus who strengthens me, when you tell yourself, I'm a writer, you know, I don't care what nobody else say. I don't care what I'm a preacher, I'm a writer, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a queen. I walk with my head held high. I love this hairstyle because it reminds me of my own, my own queendom. Listen, when you speak life to yourself, you can do anything. The only thing that can stop you is you. And so I use that hashtag, and I use it probably daily, whatever I'm doing, I use that because it's not only a reminder for me, but I want it to be a reminder for anybody else. Because when you look, and especially as sisters, as women, when we look at one another and I say, oh, JC, boy, she's doing that thing. And I know that if she can do it, I can do it too. Or Deborah or Pixie or Key or Delphia or Madonna. When I look at my sisters and I know that, and I know some, a little bit of y'all's background or whatever. Thank you, Holy Spirit. And when God gives you a glimpse of the background, and you see that this woman or my sister, made from clay, made from the broken pieces, just like me, but yet God has made something beautiful, something strong, something magnificent, and you're pushing through and you're doing, and you're not just surviving, but you're thriving. Speak like your words. There's life and death in the tongue.
Absolutely.
Life and death in the tongue. What we say to ourselves, what we say to other people, what we say to our children, what we say to our spouses, or those that we desire to be our spouses. What we say also dictates our actions. So I believe it not only just starts with what's in our head and in our heart, but then what comes out our mouth gives direction to it all. So that's why, I probably gave you more than what you asked for, but
oh no, it's never too much. Never too much, never too much, never too much. Okay.
I'm sorry. Y'all know,
listen.
You got
It's the group that will go with
too
you.
many preachers on here for me not to jump in because she said something that we need to grab hold to.
yeah.
Because it's Friday night, and that was like Friday night testimony service. That was like, I give an honor to God. I want to thank the Lord for bringing me here. I want to thank the Lord for my life, health, and strength, and saving me, sanctifying me, filling me with the Holy Ghost, baptized with a mighty burning fire. That's the way that testimony came out. Because she said something that I hope left in somebody else's spirit. She said it was a yet God. And so that's what we have to remember, that yet God delivered you, yet God brought you through, yet God saved you, yet God put you in the situation to bring you out so you could testify. Because see, if you don't realize that it is a yet God situation, you're gonna be crumbled up in a corner. You're gonna be acting like that teacher has wronged you all your life. You're gonna be acting like, woe is me, I can't get unemployment because I got kicked out of a job. Woe is me because I had to lose custody of my child. Woe is me because I had to go through the divorce. Woe is me is that I had to go through so much information, so much trials and tribulations. But you got to remember that it is a yet God situation.
Yeah.
And that is what really, when you said that, it just made me feel like I just had an old school church. And see, this is what we missing from church right now. Some of us have been so like getting caught up in, oh, we can't have this. I'm sorry, we're not supposed to talk about this, but y'all got to go here. We've been caught up with saying that we can't get back in the building, we can't do this. But have you had a yet God situation in your house? Have you invited the Holy Ghost and the Holy Spirit to come into your house? Because see, if you can't raise your hands in your house, if you can't give God glory in your house, what you going back? That part right there, you better
come do nowhere else.
Not at all.
Because see, that's how you have a yet God situation. Because see, sometimes God deal with you at the altar, but he also deal with you in that bed, which is your altar, because that's really where you crying and going in. That's really where you praying and where you crying and where you weeping and you're thinking and you're like, oh God, woe is me. Oh God, I need you to help me. You sort of kind of said that at the altar. But if you really say it for real and really think about it, your real yet God happened at home when you could really get through and really start to praise God and acknowledge him. So you got to start grabbing hold to that and know that God is getting ready to have a mighty visitation with you. If he has not already, is getting ready to visit you right where you are in the presence of where you are, because you are getting ready to go to that next level. You're getting ready to do it, but see, you're worried about the building and not realizing that the building is in you and that you have got to have what? A yet God situation. And I'm so sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, no, don't you apologize. Y'all ain't know we was about to have church on Victory Talk on Friday
what
night.
She did was, okay, so I gotta bring us back down because she done took us all the way up. What she done did is she made people around the corner. Oh,
I just need to know where to pass the pan at. Where do I pass the pan to give my offering?
Cash App in the chat.
You said put our Cash App in the chat. Well, thank you. Yes, we got to have that yet God moment. And if you have not already had it,
it's on the way.
It surely is.
Keep on living.
Yeah.
Let me run on up the street to you because I hope you don't think that you're gonna get off, ma'am. Miss Ma'am. So, Key, tell us a little bit about your chapter, because you started off with a quote by Maya Angelou that reads, "My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style." So tell us why you chose this and what it means to you.
You know, I love that quote. And, you know, all of us, we kind of have our quotes and we have our hashtags and we have our things. And, you know, I hold that one near and dear to my heart because, you know, I just feel like I don't want to just be here. I don't want to just exist as a shell of a person. You know, I feel like each day that I wake up and am just able to breathe and open up my eyes and get up out the bed and have my feet touch the floor and walk and talk and be is another opportunity just to do what the Lord, you know, would have me to do. And so I like the passion and compassion, because I feel like you should always be passionate at whatever it is that you give it your 1,000%. Don't go in it, mediocre, that lukewarm that we talk about all the time. You got to have some fire, because that's what people need. People don't always need the sugar coated. They always need the good word. They don't always need to feel good. Sometimes you gotta, get that. We need that gut punch. I needed that gut punch. I needed the wind, knocked out of me. I needed to be almost knocked off of my feet on my rear end so that I could get up and get it together. And just the compassion, just having a heart for people, just trying to help any way that I can, trying to make sure that even when I am going through my go through, that I can pick myself up and encourage my sister or my brother, that I'm never too busy to pick up the phone and take a phone call, or to send that text message, or that word of encouragement, or whatever it is that somebody might need. And with some humor, y'all know I cuts up. Listen, I stay on the naughty list. My pastor I know he be looking at me sometime like, and it's me and my husband. So y'all get double for your trouble, okay? But I am a firm believer that, we need to laugh. Yeah. Laughter, it just makes people feel good. It helps people in their moments of depression. It just, it does something to us physically, mentally, and emotionally. It's so important to have a sense of humor, especially when you run into, so much negativity, so much attitude, so much just whatever it is that each day brings. We need to laugh. And so, that quote just fits me all the way around. And that's what it means to me, everything, because I feel like it's everything balled up into one. And just to sum up my chapter really quickly, I'm not going to give y'all too much, because we trying to sell some books at the same time. So anybody who doesn't have it yet, we're going to get you the information to get the book as well. But it is for, women to understand, because we always, assume that the woman always gets custody of the child when you go through these custody situations. And, I'll say it before, I've said it before, I'll say it again. That is not always the case. That was not my story. I was not on drugs. I was not an alcoholic. I was not abusive. I was not any of these things. But my child, got taken away from me. And so my chapter is just to help people navigate through that. If they're currently going through it, if they know somebody that's going through it, just to know that you too can survive that. I know it was nothing but the grace of God. And while I was going through, yes, I balled up and curled up and cried and was depressed and didn't eat and didn't sleep and didn't want to talk to nobody. This is what Deborah is talking about, explaining to people what you went through, not just saying, oh, it was God that got me through. Okay, yes, God got me through, but I'm telling y'all, it was not easy. I had moments where, I contemplated, doing certain things and acting a fool and stepping outside of myself and fighting and all of the things that the enemy would have us to do. But I had a support system. I had my God first, and then I had, close family, a few close friends that helped me get through it. And if you're going through something like that, there's some stuff in the book for you. There's also some resources in the book for you. So go out and grab a copy if you have not yet. I'm telling you, all of these ladies that are here and the two that are missing, their stories were necessary. These stories are vital. These stories, I believe, were literally put out here to save lives. One of these stories might keep somebody from swallowing that bottle of pills, or from driving their car off a cliff, or from slitting their wrist. These stories might help somebody to not wind up in jail because they didn't went out and did something crazy in retaliation to the, what the person. These stories might be for somebody just to come up out of that depression, that self-doubt, that insecurity, whatever it is that they're going through. These stories were put out there for a reason. God doesn't make any mistakes, and that's all I got for now. Y'all know I talk a lot, but that's enough.
See, and listen, the Holy Spirit is amazing in what he does, because she was not supposed to have been the last one, but it worked out that she was the last one. And so God is just, with everything that he does, he is intentional. And so that is just
got amazing. A comment too.
We have a comment.
We have a comment that says, Miss Victoria said, I have read the book and was truly honored, impressed, and motivated by each one of your stories. What inspired you to share your stories on such an open platform? And do you have any regrets now that the book is out there?
I'm gonna go ahead and jump in that one. I shared a lot in that chapter that my husband, my now husband, did not know. I shared a lot that my children did not know. Having lived through it as they were small, they were younger. But when you're a child, you don't really, really grasp what's going on around you. And in my chapter, a lot of the things that I had gone through with their father, they did not know. So it was hard for me in realizing when I started seeing that they were purchasing the book. That did something to me because at that moment I realized my children are about to know really know some stuff about their mother that they did not know. And I felt that was difficult for me to feel that, I felt like my children hold me here. But there was a time in my life when I was like, well, y'all read it. I was rock bottom, but my babies didn't know about that. My husband didn't know about that. And then y'all did not know about that. And to know that I was sharing that out there, but now I hear so many people, I get text messages and inboxes about how, that my story has blessed them, or, that they did not know, or sharing and things of that nature. And so it has been amazing. It's been a relief. It's been freeing now. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm glad that I did. It was not my desire to. It really wasn't. Deborah will make you write some stuff that wasn't really on your mind to, you know what I'm saying? Because when I said yes, I had in mind what I was going to write, but that wasn't it. That wasn't it. So that's my thought on that. That's where I'm at.
I do not regret writing my chapter at all. One thing I have always prided myself on when it comes to my children is I've always been transparent and honest with them. And I've always said that I want them to use the mistakes that I made to avoid making their own. I realize that there'll be some mistakes that they will make. They will have to own them, but they don't necessarily have to make the ones that I made. So for me, when I started sharing my story, even with my first book, The Power of Purpose, a lot of people didn't know the things that I shared. But I know the only way, like Deborah said, for us to help the next person is to tell our story in truth and in honesty. And we as church people have the tendency to use the colloquialisms and the sayings and the fluff, and we put a nice bit icing on that cake, and it's not filled with truth on the inside. So I pride myself on telling all of my story, no matter which part you hear, in truth. And as long as it helps somebody, I'm fine with the way it was told.
Anybody else?
I'll go. No, I have no regrets. Because I don't have children, I'm not married. So that part was like I didn't have to deal with that. But let me tell you who I had to deal with, and that was my mama. So my mama, there's some things in my very first book that she did not know. And that was because my first book, Adjectives, was my book that I wrote from a healing space, from a healing space. So there was a lot in that book she had no clue about. And when I tell you she went left. But then I was like, oh, well, it's out there. Because she even said to me, oh, they only buying that book because they're being nosy. And I said, that's fine. Let them be nosy. Because as they buy, I can go to the bank. Click, clean, click, clean. And so even now, I think because I have been so transparent about what I've gone through and what I've experienced, I just don't have any regrets. And then as a woman in ministry, I truly don't, because I want other women in ministry to know that just because you got that title, that you can still tell your story and still show people who you really are, as opposed to living in a facade. Because so many times as women in ministry, think about if the generation before us had been honest about the backroom deals, and y'all know what I'm talking about. If they had been honest about, that this pastor gonna try to push up on you, or you ain't gonna get it because they're not gonna like you because you didn't wear the right pumps, or you got on stockings, don't have on stockings. If they had, and I'm using some superficial things. Trust and believe. And this conversation can go so much more deeper. Right. But think about if they had been a little bit more open and transparent about some of their experiences, would we be here? Would we have had to struggle as much as we did, as we took our call and took it serious to go to that next level?
That's a whole nother show in itself, Deborah.
Right.
Indeed.
That's a whole nother show. Well, it is at the top of the hour, ladies. It is straight up.
Wow.
I know, it went by
real quick. It went quick.
It always goes quick.
Real quick.
So before we break and get off of here, I just want to real quick let everybody have an opportunity to share how the viewers can reach you if they want to, utilize your services, purchase a book from you. You all have other books. So we're going to start with you, JC, then we'll just roundhouse and end up with you, Key.
Yes, indeed. You can reach out to me. Here is my email. It's real easy. Author JCG, AUTHORJCG @yahoo.com. Yes, I'm still using yahoo.com. Absolutely. Or you can visit my website, jc-gardner, GARDNER.com. And like Pixie, I also do ghostwriting. I also help aspiring and new authors tell their life stories. I'm a writing coach and a ghostwriter like she is as well. So would love to hear from you, even if it's to say, hopefully this has blessed you. Just drop me a word.
Deborah?
Oh, you can reach me on everything Church Girl CEO, as well as Deborah Franklin Publishing, and info at Church Girl, and I think it's info at churchgirlceomedia.com. Yeah, it's a whole lot. But best of all, just inbox me. Tag me, and if nothing else, if you are ready, just know that at Deborah Franklin Publishing, we are a one-stop shop. You can get everything from the publishing of your book, regardless if it's an individual book or a collaboration. But right now we are doing collaborations, and I got to send out this invitation because I forgot to send y'all about it. Y'all, the 21-day prayer challenge is starting on Sunday. If you have not registered for the 21-day prayer challenge, you need to, when you get off of here, you need to do it now. Because when I tell you the 21-day prayer challenge is fire, it is fire. Everything that you are seeing that has manifested today from some people that are on here was prayed about and set in motion during the 21-day prayer challenge. It has come to pass. So when I tell you, when we actually put in work that the 2 or 3 are gathered in his name, there shall he be. 2 or 3, really more than 2 or 3, gathered, and they pray. And they pray for real, and we pray intentionally, regardless if you have a business or not. The 21-day prayer challenge is for you, because you don't know how God is going to move. And that's it for me.
And how can what's the registration for the 20?
Okay, so the 21-day prayer challenge registration, believe it or not, is free. It's free, except I ask for you to just sow a seed. No matter what that seed is, whatever God tells you to sow, that's what you sow. Now, okay, so glad you asked. But if you are really interested in coming for the last 2 days of the prayer challenge, it will be live and in person. We are having a full shut-in in the house because we are studying Lydia. And if you know anything about Lydia, she was the seller of purple. She had the house where Jesus went to meet and have prayer meetings, as well as when Paul and Silas got out of jail, when they prayed and the chains broke and the doors open, that's where they went to. And so we are doing that on that Friday and Saturday. We're going to go for 2 days. That's where the last day 20 and 21 will be here in Atlanta at my house, believe it or not. And it's only open to a certain amount of people. So for the special VIP days, it is $350. But that includes your meals and some very special treats that you will get while you're here. So when I tell you we are being intentional about everything during this prayer challenge, whether men can join during the prayer challenge, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it is geared towards women. You can come and be nosy, but I'm gonna tell you right now, God gonna move, and you're gonna think that you're gonna want that spirit of Lydia on your life as well. Because when you get that Lydia anointing, you have no other choice but have a quality product, name recognition, as well as being a meeting person and being able to sow back into the ministry, which is key, because she was one of the key investors in the ministry of Jesus.
Wow. All right now. And where can they register at again? I just want to make sure that
it's on. I'm gonna do y'all like my cousin did last night. Just go to Eventbrite and do Church Girl CEO, and it'll pop right up.
Gotcha.
Y'all don't want to miss it.
All right.
Not at all. It was amazing.
It was amazing.
It was
like
amazing.
She said, it's still, man, it's an experience.
Okay. And don't be stealing our time, Deborah.
Come on, Pixie.
You guys can connect with me on any social media platform. I am on Facebook, and I'm on Facebook and Instagram under my ghostwriting company, which is Busy Bossy Mommy. That's BIZZYBOSSYMOMMY. And what I have coming up is a bio workshop. So any speaker, any author, any coach, you need a bio. You need a bio that is written correctly. So when someone asks you for 75 words, 150 words, 250 words, you can give them that. If you are looking to update your website, you want to make sure your full bio is on there and it is correctly. So the best thing I can tell you is come November 13th from 1 to 3:30 Eastern Standard Time, register for this workshop. It is $97, but you will leave with all of that within that time. We're going to write your bio the right way so that you show up on paper the same way you show up in person. And you can register for that class at workshops with an s.busybossymommy.com.
And y'all know $97 is a steal for that. I just want to.
Oh, and understand. Okay, let me go. Thank you. Let me go ahead and tell you, I'm one of those people. And see, other folk like this, but they ain't gonna tell you. I don't have no problem telling you. And once I figure it out, price increase is written all over it. So now go ahead on this bottom level and get on in. Come get your stuff. Let me tell you about some of the things we're going to teach. First of all, nobody cares where you went to high school in your bio. So if it's there, go and take it out right now.
And make sure that's not. Oh no, it's not.
Oh no, yours is not.
Go ahead and take it out.
You work with Deborah Franklin Publishers,
so we know it's not there.
No,
we know it's not there. You know, so and I know that we all hold those, you know, our high school, our alma mater near and dear, and God bless you. I hope you're on the Booster Club and you know, still giving them money, but it don't need to be in your bio.
That part.
You can connect with me on Facebook under Pixie Lee as well. You can send me a message. I check. As y'all can see, I like to talk. So go ahead.
Yes, I'm just going to jump in there too because I did forget my social media handles. Thank y'all. Thank y'all, sisterhood. Thank y'all. I am on Facebook and Instagram. Instagrammy, as I like to call it. Yes, indeed. I am there also. Just look for me, Jackie Gardner or Arthur JCG. Yes, indeed.
All right. Well, y'all already know how y'all can reach me and Key. So I'm just gonna roundhouse that, you know, because our producers over here like,
I know it. Y'all know where to find us. Just give the website.
Yeah. Just give the website. Oh, you want me to give the website? Oh, okay. All right. You can reach us at blfmministries.org and you can go to our website. You can also reach us on our Victory Talk page at Victory Talk. Yeah, that's it.
And on all of our socials, and it's our name. And
what she said. And so we are excited and we're glad that you guys joined in with us tonight. And it has just been amazing. This has been so much fun having our sisters here And so we're just so excited, and we look forward. Hey, Madonna, we missed you, girl. And so we just look forward to the next opportunity when we get together again. So to all of our viewers, thank you for joining us tonight on Victory Talk. I am your host, Lady J, and my girl.
It's your girl Key signing off.
Yes, and we will see y'all next week for you know what time it is. Hot topics. So y'all have an amazing evening. Be safe and get your copy of Mosaics. You can reach out to any one of the ladies here tonight, or you can inbox Key and myself, and we will tell you how you can get your copy of Mosaics. We love you like no other. Blessings. Good night.
Good night,
Thank y'all.
everybody.
Good night.